Hello everyone, and welcome back to another preview video for the Transylvania DLC for Steel Division 2. Yes, we already looked at the 25th Hadosztaly before, but there have been changes made to these divisions that are absolutely worthwhile mentioning, and let's go over it again. And let's have a look of how much better it is now, and how much more unique it is at the same time. And yep, the DLC is still coming. It's on the way. The new map is in works. The new Army General is looking better and better as well. So that should all come around hopefully pretty soon. Still, sadly, no release date on it from Eugen yet, but we are in the final steps, I think. So yeah, let's have a look at the 25th Hadosztaly, and let's start in the Recon tab once more, where you already see the first of the changes. But yeah, let's go over everything again, as we have some BMWs here. We have some BMW Solthorns, all without radio. We have the normal two-man recon squads with no special transport, sadly. And we have the Hataran Derzek with 15 point, 4 availability, 8 availability, 12 availability now, instead of 3, 6, 9. 12-man squadrons that are pretty good as behind-the-line killing squads. Like, they're actually low recon for, like, low optics for a recon squadron, but they don't affect the front line, so you can sneak them behind the enemy lines and do stuff with them that way, which can be quite nice, as the FEG is still a pretty good rifle. The Shaba is the standard Shaba with its anti-tank rifle. Spade Troop is a new unit, only coming in BNC, with some SDK sets as well. Yeah, as this division now got attachments of the 23rd Panzer Division added to it. And the lowest Turk we already know before. Really strong unit, 25 points. This one has exceptional stealth and very good optics. Has a Soul Thorn as well. Costs you 10 points more though, and has lower availability, but obviously has way more firepower than these guys and doesn't have Disheartened. And then you get in B-Phase also some Panzer IV Jace now. So you have some nice armor in here now as well. Infantry tab, little changes here. You have the Löwesch. You have a lot of Löwesch if you want. Like, you can fill this out fully with Löwesch. You have the single flamers for 20 points. 5-man squadron. 5-man is not that great. Yeah, then you have your Aksharok TNT unit. Pretty good. 13-point unit. Good availability as well for TNT unit. With 13 hit points that can survive an enemy TNT as well for 20 points. Really, really good TNT. Then the Heji Davash. Molotov unit for 25 points with Raider. 13 men, really nice. 3 Danuvia, sadly the 39 version, the Matzen. Yeah, they have decent firepower on CQC especially, thanks to this being an automatic rifle. They have okay firepower on the mid-range, as Matzen is obviously not the greatest of long-range weapons. But the Molotov and so on, making them pretty decent CQC units for 25 points. Sadly, you can't bring them with veterancy though, but they come with a good availability, and you get a lot of cards. Then you get your 6-man leader for 25 points currently with radio. The radio is nice. Transports here are pretty standard as well. Another 6-man leader with smoke. Yeah, but no radio, and currently way worse availability. Has the better SMG, has the better weapons in general. The Nanuvia 43 as well, which is a pretty good SMG, but yeah, you only get them with low availability, so not super worthwhile at the moment. Löwesch 25G, new unit in this division with 2 Solar Thorns, and the Panzerfaust, 30-man squad, fanatical as well. So really good unit to hold the line with. 4 Danuvias also, giving them really decent firepower in CQC. Sadly, Solar Thorns are light machine guns and not automatic rifles, otherwise this would be a really good CQC squadron actually, like for an all-rounder. This way it's still a good CQC unit for an all-rounder with 4 SMGs, but it's not amazing. But for 25 points, having 2 LMGs with 13 strength still is a pretty good squadron. Hungarian infantry, as always, pretty good. Here you have your high availability leader with 25 points and smoke once more, but yeah, in fact, compared to the radio one, I still would take the radio one over it with 1 more hit point and the radio. And then you get more German attachments here in sea phase. Panzer Grenadiers and Panzer Grenadier Panzerfaust in sea phase coming in. So, yeah, getting some Panzer Grenadiers if you want them. You can also bring them in the SDKF set, half tracks. And then in the tank tab, you now get some German attachment as well. T-34 42s with German crew, that we already know. And then a Panther G in sea phase. The T-34 coming in B with solid availability as well here. You also get now a couple more tank slots. The Srini still amazing though. But so you have to fit this in nicely. Like maybe you want to still take the Shrinis in A and B instead of the T-34s. Because the Shrini with its 105 frontal armor and basically being a STU 42 with 5 extra frontal armor. With its heat shell on 1500 meter range and its 2000 meter range HE. It's a really, really good gun. Especially with a great availability curve as well. The Shrini 2 is a really good thing. And then a Panther G in sea phase, so you have some late game with this division now as well. With some big boys coming in from the Panzer division. And then in the support tab, you get some late game MG42 support now as well. In addition to your insane amount of 50mm mortars. 6 cards there, or Schwalose. Still, sadly, only in button D. At least your flamers can come in BMW. Yeah, BMW leader, 43 Steyr leader, and so on. We already know, and that's nothing special here. Yeah, they are all, sadly, pretty standard. 4-man leader, commander. Like, nothing here is fancy. Anti-tank, though, has one more fancy unit now as well. The Jagdpanzer 38T were here before. Still a lovely paint scheme. Yeah, you can take them in A, B, and C. They come with good availability as well. They come with decent red, like pretty good red curve as well. But we have a unit that we haven't seen in any Axis division yet. And that is an Su-85. Stuk Su-85 are coming in B phase. Some Axis Su-85s now. Is the new unit in this division. With a new paint scheme as well. Showing you that this thing is Axis. So really, really cool thing here. Yeah, absolutely loving this thing. The Pak 40s and the 40Ms, pretty decent 80 guns as well. The 40M, sadly, a bit low on range. If it would have 1250 meter range, it would be way, way better. 1000 meter range, a bit underperforming. You still have the rubber, the World War I AA piece. That is absolutely beautiful, absolutely gorgeous. Flak 36 and the 36 Bofors. Yeah, Bofors and the 88 most likely being the better option than the rubber, as the rubber also comes with mediocre availability, but it's a fun unit. And it actually has a pretty good range, as it has a 76mm gun. It has really low accuracy, obviously, though. Yeah, it's a wild thing. Yeah, it's not terrible, actually, performing-wise, but it doesn't deal much damage. It is pretty decent putting out stress, though. But I would say the Bofors and the Flak 36 are both relatively high-end AA, so you rather... If you're not going for the meme, you should end up with these two instead. And then, in the artillery tab, we have our leader, we have our scouts, we have our normal fast-firing Hungarian guns, we have the LEFH in Hungarian service with the lovely paint scheme. I love this paint scheme. This somehow looks really pleasing to me every time I look at it. The 81mm mortar, which is a standard thing as well. 105mm off map and a lovely looking plane. The VM21 120mm mortar, sadly without radio. Not that great. The 149mm artillery piece, which is still amazing. You get 4 cars of them. So if you really want to spam artillery in team games, this deck might be great. And now you also even get Hummels in C-phase to assist all that. All veterancy locked as well, like all these units get in this division. But yep, so the artillery tab also got a step better with this addition of some German forces. Slight attachment there that are phase locked. And then in the air tab, you get some standard stuff that we already all saw. And then also some new stuff with, yeah, like the Hedja recon plane is, for example, a new Hungarian recon plane, which is pretty lovely. JH7D5 recon is pretty standard, but the D5, I'm still loving the looks of this. I played a bit with it. It's not terrible, actually. It actually kills infantry with strafing relatively well for 65 points. It's not as effective as the D5 version with gun pods, with 20mm gun pods. The MG gun pods are not as great at, but it's 15 points cheaper and also has one better availability. So with that taken in mind, it's pretty good. And it also is pretty good in head-ons, obviously. Like 12 extra MGs make you quite deadly in that regard. The bombers here are not too amazing. The ME210 now has really good availability, so it's pretty worthwhile taking. Before it had horrible availability, now it has pretty good availability. And it has 4 rockets, and 4 210mm rockets actually do significant amount of damage. So this thing is actually really nice now. Maybe even a slight bit too good for 95 points, but yeah, 210mm rockets usually don't do amazing amount, but 4 of them actually are quite scary. So this is a really nice rocket plane now. And then you have your BF-109 G6U4 with the 30mm, but with the F8 in here with medium resilience and its guns and so on, I would always recommend taking this over the BF-109. Both have the same speed, but the extra resilience and the 220mm having extra range over the 30mm, I would say always make the Focke-Wulf better, even though it has worse agility. Like, I guess maybe if you want to fit 2 cards in, you can take a card of each, but usually I would recommend taking the Focke-Wulf here. So, yeah, this is the 25th Hadosztaly now. Has gotten some nice unique stuff now, some nice unique flavor with the addition of the late game German support that comes in. And it's pretty playable before that. Like, it's not a 50 seconds Sicherungs which struggles before that. No. The Schweini with its 2000 meter range support gun and the anti-tank, and then also some of these already coming in B, plus good artillery, good air support, or like decent air support, really make this a quite worthwhile deck now. I actually really enjoyed my time playing 25th Hadosztaly, and there will be a gameplay with this coming up soon on the channel as well, so if you don't want to miss that, consider subscribing to see when this is coming up. With that said, I hope you're also still looking forward for Transylvania DLC. I really hope we will see it within the next couple of weeks. Would expect it with that, but nothing has been promised by Eugen just yet. And yeah, see you all in the next time. Bye bye, and have a great day.